Oh, I've had too many noodles. Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. Just dropping noodle eggs here. Just doing another little feature species episode. Today is going to be on my Hapolopus species Colombia, commonly known as the pumpkin patch. Now these are a terrestrial species and a dwarf species. They don't need a huge environment. My one here is in a 20 by 20 by 20 enclosure, which is 8 inches by 8 inches by 8 inches. They tend to grow to about sort of 3.5 to 4 inches as an adult. If you've got the large species, which this one is. There is a more smaller species of this one, which grows to about 2.5 sort of inches. It's not as big as the larger one, which this is the larger one. I did a rehouse on her a week or two ago now, and she sort of settled into this enclosure. So she's made a few homes. She's got one down here, as you can see. I don't think she's in that one at the moment, because she's been building another one at the back of the enclosure, round about here, and I think she's in there at the moment. We can have a little look in a few minutes if she doesn't pop out. Well, I've just dropped some food in for her. Yeah, I need to fill up her water bowl, but I'll do that in a while, once she's hopefully come out to say hello. Now these are quite a fast species, so as for being a beginner species, they're not on my recommended list. They are on a lot of people's recommended lists as a beginner species. Myself, I don't have them on there just because of their speed. They can be quite fast. Sorry there guys, just moving the locust because it's getting close to the door. Just didn't want it hopping out. They can be quite fast, and which can be a bit nerving for if you're a new keeper. Seeing the spider move quite fast, because if you've got the doors open or you're doing some maintenance, they can be quite skittish and run around. My one, she's not been too bad. I've been really lucky with her. It is a female. I've had her now since about, I think about since November last year. I got her from Yorkshire Teas as a sort of, a juvenile. She's molted 2 times in my care. First time she molted in, she webbed all this foliage up. It was like a big ball, and she was in a plastic really useful tub when I received her, because she came with the enclosure. She was wrapped in that ball and she molted out. Then I rehomed her into a tarantula room, circular enclosure, and she made up home in the skull, and she molted out in there. Now I've moved her into this glass enclosure, which is really, really nice. So shut the door there so you can see. This is a raptor zoo enclosure. I moved her into here. It's slightly smaller than the tarantula room, but again, like I said, she's a dwarf species, so she seems quite very content in here. She has done some webbing up. When I look around the enclosure, there's some signs of webbing, and yeah, she's made, like I said, 3 little homes in the skull. She's got one round here, which is down there. don't think she's in there today. Yeah. And then she's made one up here. Ah, there she is, see her? She's actually in that area there. So that's where she is today. So what we're going to try and do, I think, guys, if I grab the locust again, because it seems to be over here, and drop it nearer to where she is, then maybe, just maybe, she might pop out and grab something to eat. So this is where she's made up her home today. Now I've dropped the locust quite close to there, which I was kind of not wanting to do because I was hoping to get her to sort of come out and be on view a bit more. She was out the other day and she was having a good old walk around. Yeah, she was walking around up on the glass. So this is why I thought, well, today I will attempt to feed her. She has actually got a hide, which she hasn't used yet, but she probably will. It's such a nice little enclosure, this. I really like it. Because when it's a little bit compact, you can make it quite, not busy, but natural, if you know what I mean. Because that could be anywhere in like a, well, obviously about the skull and the plastic milk, well, the way the humans have used it, probably will be a plastic milk top there. But this little bit here looks like it could be anywhere in the sort of woodlands, in a sort of forest, tropical environment. Here she comes. She's coming out, guys. She's actually coming out. There she is. See her? She's looking at... Oh, she got it. Oh, she must have got it, I think. Let's have a quick look. Yeah, she's got the locust. So there we go. She's going to go back into her hide. There she goes. Okay. So what we're going to do, guys, I'm going to just close this door slightly. Sorry if we get a bit of a shaky camera. But obviously I want to try and see if we can move this around slightly. So I can show you the entrance of her little hide here. So as you can see, she's got an entrance there to the hide, which is just down there. And that's where she is at the moment. So if we continue to turn this around, sorry guys, I've got this on my little table at the moment, because just try and get a picture of her. There she is. So she's there, and she's sort of like in, she's got an entrance down there. She's webbed up like a little, like a, she's so cute. She's made like a little house there. I really like that. But if we go around even further, she's actually got an entrance there which takes her down into her little cocoon part of the hide down there. Aren't they just amazing animals, you know? They're just so cool. And she's like adapted this in a space of like 2 weeks to the way she likes it and needs it. And she's done an amazing job. She's a beautiful spider. Fortunately, not going to see a lot of her because she's in her webbing area. See, but if you can see through there, look at that beautiful colorations on her booty. This is why they called the pumpkin patch, because obviously they've got the colorations of the pumpkins, not necessarily the pattern, but that would have been very cool. But I suppose it does look a little bit pumpkiny, because if you think about a pumpkin, it's round shaped and it's got like segments, and if you use the black bit separating the orange, it's like segments, so it is kind of like a pumpkin. And she's in there. As I was saying, I don't necessarily think that they are great beginner species. I think if you've got a bit of experience and you've got I'd say, you know, you kept spiders for a while, you know, at least 6 months or so, and you feel quite confident with your spiders, and you know that some spiders are a bit more quicker and skittish than others, then yeah, then that's the perfect time to get this species, I think, when you've got a little bit of experience. Doesn't have to be a lot of experience, just experience to have the confidence and, not the sort of like, um, not shocked, but you could be a bit shocked when they move so quick. You think, whoa, they could be lightning fast. Some spiders, like a lot of old world spiders, are very, very fast. Um, which again is one of the things why I don't keep old world spiders. It's the speed of them is one of the things that not puts me off them, but more concerns me. Um, Knowing that I'm going to be able to stop it if it's going to do a runner or anything. Um, yeah, so that's the sort of thing that sort of puts me off the old worlds, which is a shame. There's some beautiful spiders. I will venture down there one day, I'm sure. Sorry we're not getting much of a view, but she's there, as you can see. You can see her bum. Uh, yeah, she's beautiful. She is a beautiful spider, and if you do want, and you say you've got a big experience, and you want a really beautiful spider, there is none that come. There's much more beautiful than this. You know what I mean? They are beautiful. They are a dwarf species. Again, that can put people off. Being a dwarf species. Some people, they like a big size spider. Myself, I'm actually quite happy with dwarf species. I like them. She's backing into her little area here. Look, what's she doing now? Yeah, she's munching down on her locust. So she's actually come into her little. She's coming out again, is she? Oh, here she comes. Look, she's coming out again. Yeah, so she's munching down on her breakfast. Maybe if I turn that off, that might be a little bit unsettling to her. So, don't want to make her unsettled. I want her to feel comfortable in her own home. She's there. Bless her little heart. Maybe she's trying to do a little happy dance. Um, yeah. Yeah, she's so cute. Yeah, I think that's what she's doing. Um, it's her own version of the happy dance, and she's come out to give herself a bit of space to do that. So she's seems quite content there. Yeah, they are a terrestrial species. They do like to web up. Yeah, she's giving us a little happy dance. That's what she's doing. They do like to web up. They do like to have a little climb. They're not a burrowing species as such. They will burrow, but they tend to prefer to make a web sort of home. So plenty of anchor points for the species if you are going to be getting one. I'm going to just pop that on for a minute, guys, just so you can see her without the reflection. Yeah, they will make a lot of webbing if you give them plenty of anchor points. They do tend to like to do that. Yeah, she's beautiful. I think she's pretty much nearly full grown, if she's not full grown already. Like I said, I had her as a juvenile. She's a beautiful spider. There's her patch there. You will notice that a lot of New World spiders, I'm not sure about Old World, have different sort of patches on their abdomens. This is normally how they get identified by what species they are, because a lot of spiders look very similar. She's munching down now. Look very similar. So they get identified by these sort of patches. Some are different shapes and different sizes and different colours. Isn't she beautiful though, guys? Yeah. So let's let her enjoy her breakfast. Let's thank a few people. Let's thank my YouTubers that I like to follow. And please, guys, give them a follow. We've got Mark the Spider Guy, Peter Webster, Spider Mum 1978, Incredible Inverts and Other Animals, Unusual Pets, Tea in the Deep Blue Sea, Scott's Inverts, RS Designs, Reptile Innovations, Ellie's Bug Babies, Unseen Universe, Bethany Spiders. All great channels worth following, guys. Please give them a follow. Annie's Arachnids, Robbie's Talking Teas, Dave's Little Beasties, Tom Moran's Tom's Big Spiders, Tarantula Collective. All fantastic channels, guys. Give them a little watch if you get a chance. Just having a little sit. Having a little munch down there. Yeah. You see her Hapolopus doing a bit of work there. And she's working there with her fangs. As you can see, her fangs are working, because their fangs are pretty much their mouth. If you're not too clear on spiders, they're like there is a name for them. It's escaped me. But yeah, all arachnids have them. True spiders have them, but they're differently, where they sort of they function different to tarantulas, and obviously scorpions have them. All arachnids have them, but it is pretty much their mouth where they inject venom into the insect, which obviously helps liquidize the insides, which they then drink up. Bit gruesome, but that's what they do. Yeah, please, guys, check out these channels. You know, they are fantastic channels. There's some great YouTube channels out there which I really like following. Obviously, you've got 8 Legs 4 Wheels, Greg's channel, which is fantastic as well. Please give Greg a subscribe, please, and feel free to subscribe to my channel if you like my content. I'd be very grateful. It'd be great to reach 100 subscribers at some point. I get very close, but then it drops down again, and so it's yeah, it's just one of those things. Go giving it an air. Working away on her breakfast there. These are very fast growers. They do molt quite frequently. Like I said, she's molted twice with me, but they seem to disappear for a bit longer. Every time she's molted, she's disappeared for like a month at a time. But isn't she beautiful? She looks nice in her setup. Yeah, see, she's got a lovely little setup. Like I said, she's webbed all this up here, and she's got an entrance down there, and that goes all the way down here, and then it comes out at the front. So she seems to like this environment. She seems to be thriving in it, and I like it. Well, there you go, guys. That's a little update and a little bit of a feature species there of the pumpkin patch. Like I said, the terrestrial species, subtropical, They do like a little bit of dampness, just not over damp it. I tend to just fill up the water bowl I fill up the bowl daily, but once a week I'll give it an overflow and let that corner dry out. Just give that humidity up in there. My room is generally pretty much about between 25 and 29 degrees every day. So she's got the heat and she'll have the water which will create the humidity. Humidity isn't, when you're just putting water in there, a lot of people say, oh yeah, I'm adding humidity. You're not. Humidity's in the air. So with the heat, when the water evaporates into the air, that's the humidity. So that's why it's important to keep your water bowls full, because it's really important, because that water evaporates gradually, and that will create the humidity in there. If you're just spraying inside your enclosures, what that's doing, that's just spiking it, because spraying it will just put water on the top, and that will dry out very quick. So it will get a bit of humidity for about half an hour to an hour, and then it will go back to again to being dry. So adding a water bowl really helps, because obviously that takes longer. Like I filled that water bowl up yesterday morning, and now it's a tiny, tiny, tiny little drop in there. So all day long, it's evaporated. So as you can see, it gives it a more consistent um, humidity, and that's what your spider needs, rather than spiking it. It's still good to give a little spray in there. I do give a little spray in some of my enclosures, simply because sometimes the spider will drink of some of the droplets that are around. That's the only reason I do the spray, not to raise the humidity in there, because that doesn't really raise it. I do it just so it gives them another option to drink. Um, that's the reason why I do it. So what we're going to do, guys, we're going to leave this little baby to it. Thank you so much for coming in and watching this little featured species episode. I'm going to try and do a few of these. I've done one on my GBB, and I've done one on my pumpkin patch. Just to see how they're getting on and give you my views on them. A little bit of info. I can't give you a lot of info on them because I am a new keeper, and so I don't particularly know the ins and outs of this species in depth. Where they're from, that sort of thing. It's not something I tend to know too much about. Obviously, some are very obvious, like your Mexican red knee. You know where that's from. But a lot of these species I do know where they're from, but it's just like I don't tend to follow the history of the spider, which I should do really. I should be more interested in that side of the animal, and I am. It's just that I'm very busy. I work pretty much 12 hours a day, 6 days a week. So yeah, I'm a very busy person. So my free time is very small. But anyway, as I'm waffling, I'm going to leave the video there. Wish you all the best health. Please look after one another. And I hope I see you all soon.